I'm Greg Walker, and it's my honor to be your guide on the journey toward alignment. So let me ask you a question. If two people are in a canoe, and they're both rowing in the same direction, with the same intention, in harmony with each other's efforts, don't they each stand a better chance at arriving at the same destination than if they weren't rowing in unison? Well, that's really what alignment is all about. The harmonious desire to get to the same destination at the same time. But what happens if the two people in the canoe disagree about where they're going and why? Or they can't decide who's supposed to sit where, or they can't agree on whether it's a good idea to be in the canoe in the first place. Well, at some point or another, their journey is likely to have problems. Just imagine one person in the front rowing west and another rowing east. Or imagine one person rowing and another person standing up and doing jumping jacks. Or imagine one person rowing like crazy and another person in the back pounding a hole in the bottom of the boat. Eventually, both of them are going to get wet. And getting wet is definitely not our goal. So you're probably wondering, what is alignment? Alignment is the side-by-side working relationship that makes great results a daily reality for both key decision makers and direct reports. Alignment makes both people in the boat more effective, but it doesn't happen all by itself. Alignment is what allows great organizations, big or small, to succeed. And it takes a little practice. Alignment can be an elusive thing. It affects everyone in the entire enterprise. It appears, disappears based on one thing. That's the quality of the relationship between two very important players in the company: the key decision maker and the direct report. You can think of them as two people in that canoe. The key decision maker up front providing direction, and the direct report in the back providing propulsion. So, if you're watching this video, the odds are pretty good that you're one of those two key people. Later on in the training, you'll find out about some more detailed definitions of those two terms: key decision maker and direct report. For now, though, just remember those two people in the canoe. One setting the course, and the other providing lots and lots of forward motion. If those two are in alignment, the journey is successful. If they are not in alignment, the journey fails. It's that simple. The problem is that sometimes, without meaning to, we can create obstacles to alignment that make our relationship and our company a lot less effective than they should be. And we can do that so often that we even get used to not being in alignment. That's not where we want to be. So, before we land in the water, we want to ask, what are the warning signs that we are out of alignment? Well, the first, most common, and most important warning sign that your boat is about to overturn is a pattern of chronic frustration and stress. This is the single most predictable symptom of a relationship between the key decision maker and the direct report who have problems with alignment. Both of them experience frustration and stress as a more or less constant working reality. That's what chronic means, by the way, of long duration or continuing. If either person has continual experiences of deep frustration and stress, then both people in the boat are probably out of alignment. Now, a common question we hear at this stage is, if only one person feels chronic frustration or stress in the relationship, why can't there still be alignment? I wish I could tell you that stress and frustration in this situation can be only one person's problem. But if you think back to our canoe, you realize that any problem that one person in the boat has is really a problem that both rowers have. How many out of balance people does it take to tip over a canoe? Only one. Because being out of balance eventually becomes contagious. Often we inadvertently create patterns that take us out of balance. When we get out of balance with the other person, we get out of alignment. As a result, we may not even be aware of the stressful issues that the other person is experiencing. But those issues are enough to keep us from operating at peak efficiency together. We can only begin to get into alignment when we realize that in any relationship, there is more than one perspective to consider. And ignoring the other person's perspective causes stress and frustration for both sides. The second big tip-off that your relationship has an alignment problem is a feeling that the other person just doesn't understand. Here again, only one person has to feel this way for there to be an alignment issue. When we're working with companies that have alignment problems, we always make it a point to meet separately with the key decision makers and the direct reports. We ask each of them to discuss their biggest challenges. It's always striking how differently two people can evaluate the same situation. It's quite common for one person to describe serious problems in the relationship and the other person to describe a relationship where all is well. Over and over again, these differing assessments reinforce the core lesson of this training. That lesson is, to bring more productivity and less stress to the working relationship, key decision makers and direct reports must learn to understand and respect each other's viewpoints. This is absolutely essential. Now, in a business environment, understanding and respecting the other person's viewpoint can be much harder than it sounds. It takes persistence. It takes a proven system. It takes practice. And it's the main deliverable of this training. This is one of the most common challenges we hear about from the front lines of the businesses we work with. There is a feeling of a deep divide between key decision makers and direct reports. Each one tends to think the other does not understand how to work with me or the challenges I face. This feeling of division is really a kind of wall that builds up over time between both people. That wall can kill the potential productivity of the relationship, and it can make the company less competitive. The good news is that this wall can come down with a little effort, a little time, and some commitment to creating mutual respect. And that's exactly what we're going to show you how to make happen in this training. The third big tip-off that there is an alignment problem is a sense that problems you are experiencing with the other person are causing you some kind of difficulty, large or small, outside the workplace. Once again, only one person needs to experience this to indicate problems with alignment. The kinds of difficulties I'm talking about could be something like an inability to get a good night's sleep, because you're thinking of the meeting you're going to have with the other person tomorrow. Or it could be a vacation that you and your family can't really enjoy, because you're so concerned about a challenge waiting for you once you get back to work and have to deal with the other person. Another example of an alignment-related difficulty outside of the workplace is the situation where you notice you're talking to yourself in the shower. Listen, if you're in the shower talking to yourself about a problem that you're having with the key decision maker or the direct report in your world, guess what? You've got an alignment problem. And here, as in the other two situations, there's really no option. You have to address the problem. Once you have identified that there really is a problem with alignment between you and the other person in the relationship, that problem is automatically too big to ignore. Now, why do I say that? Because what happens or doesn't happen between the key decision maker and the direct report carries a huge cultural impact for the entire company. Ignoring obstacles to alignment in this relationship will threaten the stability and perhaps even the survival of the business. It can take down your company. It's that serious. By the same token, establishing strong alignment can release potential that you never knew the company had. We've seen that happen dozens and dozens of times. In one instance, we had a company where the CEO, a woman who had recently become a grandmother, was totally focused on things other than business because of the arrival of her first grandchild. The executives in the company believed that she was still leading the charge. In fact, they thought they were about to embark on a major expansion. Nothing could have been further from the truth. She and they were totally out of alignment. And it was only by proceeding through the exercises that we'll be doing as a part of this training that they were able to get back on the same page and move the company forward. Before that happened, it was a real threat. There was a possibility that this firm would be torn apart by their lack of alignment. When the relationship is in alignment, direct reports can become an engine for achieving truly great results within the organization. The positive results the direct reports drive only occur because of the high level of aligned engagement with the key decision maker. Those results are evidence of the increased effectiveness of that key decision maker. The aligned relationship is what makes great results possible. The aligned relationship creates stronger companies by creating higher impact direct reports. The principles you will learn in this training will bring about measurably better business results. And the business experience will be much more enjoyable for both parties. It's been an honor to give you this overview of the program. I want to congratulate you for taking the action that you already have. Now, it's time to move to the next level. I'm Greg Walker, and I look forward to making the journey toward alignment